Okay, so for this book review, I'm going to be reviewing another book by Yukio Mishima, Sun and Steel. This book is it's generally regarded as perhaps the philosophical uh, what's the word I could use? Perhaps the philosophical fulcrum of Yukio Mishima. It's almost like his own more of a philosophical manifesto, right? Um, It's quite a short book. It's only about 100 pages or so. Um, I don't think they're printing these anymore. Um, this book cost me $100. I think it was well worth it though because it's a very nice book and it's a very good read. It's only, as I said, it's only about 100 pages. Um, if you're a faster reader than I, you could probably read this in a day. It took me about 4 days to read this. Um, but it's a very inspiring book to say the least. Just the name alone, Sun and Steel, is enough to motivate me to to get into the gym and start lifting and spend some time in the sun and get my own tan on. So what he talks about in this is he talks a lot, for starters, about how he came to the conclusion that he needs to start exercising and start using steel to shape his body, right? And about he talks a lot about beauty in this as well, and how essentially the physique, the shape of your body, is the ultimate expression of art from of the art of the self, I suppose you could say, right? He talks a lot about his struggle with words, right? His struggle with portraying certain beauties with words, um, and how because of that he turned to Sun and Steel in order to portray the beauty through his physique. And you can see he has quite a formidable physique in this picture. And he talks a lot also about the decadence of the male physique and how exercise and fitness has become, at least among men especially, has become very despised in the modern world, and how femininity is often encouraged amongst men, and uh, and lifting and lifting and improving your body and becoming stronger is often despised as well. Um, and I think he's exactly right in that assumption, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Um, he also he very much goes into what seems to be like the spiritual side of lifting weights. I talked a little bit about that with uh, his struggle with words and how excuse me, how words are essentially a corruption of the true beauty. Um, and that is largely a part of the spiritual side of why he himself got into fitness and got into Sun and Steel. Um, and then there's other aspects of his spiritual side to lifting weights. It's a very interesting read. I would 100% recommend this book. If you don't want to drop $100 on a 100 page book, something so small, then you could obviously pretty easily find an ebook or an audiobook or something, or a PDF online or something like that. Um, as for what I would rate this book, it's kind of hard to say because it's not exactly a book that was designed for it's not exactly a book that was designed for entertainment, right? Um, as I said, it's more of a manifesto than anything. Um, but if I had to put a number on it, it would probably be another 8, similar to the last Mishima book that I read, right? Um, I think 8 is a pretty good sweet spot for that, for Yukio Mishima specifically, because I think 8 is where things are really good, but they're not quite amazing, right? Maybe I should start using decimals or something like that in these reviews, but yeah, it's a very good read, and I would recommend it. So that has been the book review of Sun and Steel by Yukio Mishima.